Never watched it before, but I'm now watching Celebrity Traitors.
Oh, yeah.
And I think you'd like it, not for the reasons of, the plot or anything like that, or the gimmicks. It's that whenever a celebrity, and they've got quite a good few celebrities in there, comes up and speaks to the camera, it says their age. And I'm looking at this and I go, oh, I didn't know X celebrity was that age. So, James, my question to you is, how old do you think friend of the show, Nick Mohammed, is?
It's already sort of, let's go for, okay, so I would have thought 30s.
30, go on, put a number on it. He's a bit older, he looks older than us.
Yeah. 38. 39.
38, okay. You're going for 39 or 39?
39, I'll go 39.
James, I asked you what age Nick Mohammed was, friend of the show, Nick Mohammed. You said 39. I can tell you, and one of the joys of watching The Traitors, that his age is in fact 45.
Oh, God, he looks good.
He does look good.
Yeah, he's looking really good.
And I was like, fair enough.
He is 19.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
It's like when we found out Dave Franco was 40 or 41,
Oh my God, that still blows my mind, actually.
Yeah, I think was he 40? Maybe he was 42, but but
looks 29.
Something about Nick Mohammed in this case, good for him.
It doesn't help I'm like double the size of Dave Franco. Like
Nick Mohammed. Nick Mohammed. Yeah. If you stood Nick Mohammed on top of Dave Franco, they'd be your height.
Lovely friend of the show, Dave Franco.
Yeah.
Just because he recognised me the day after I saw him, that was enough for me to be like, you were a lovely person.
Yeah, he was very nice. He had great energy.
Really nice, yeah. He didn't have to be nice, but he was.
They do have to be nice to us. They
should do. They should, yeah.
We've yet to meet really...
J-Lo.
Yeah, I was going to say, who's
been rude? It was J-Lo.
J-Lo was the opposite of Dave Franco. She took a look at you and went, no.
So I saw a big story in the news that they can bring back extinct animals using DNA, right? So like woolly mammoths, they're going to bring back.
Yeah, I've heard that,
the whole cast of Ice Age, they're going to bring back, essentially. So the obvious
Jurassic
job
Park.
in my brain is, well, we're going to do Jurassic Park, seeing as we're living out all the horrible sci-fi eventualities of every other film. Yeah. The logic suggests that we're going to have a dinosaur park in our lifetimes, right? The question is, Jurassic Park exists. Let's imagine it's open tomorrow.
Okay.
Are you going?
Okay.
Jurassic Park is open.
You probably wanted like a nice, nimble, fun art. Where is it in the world?
Costa Rica.
Okay.
Same as.
All right. First of all, okay, long haul flight. So I'm already cynically being like, the flights are expensive.
It's more of an American
sort of, because it's opened immediately. I'm like, the ticket price is going to be way high.
Let's imagine it's cooled off. It's been 5 years.
Oh, it's okay. It's cooled off. Okay.
You don't need to go for the opening. Maybe if Pulp Kitchen were invited for an opening
What's
party,
the
we'd be very.
consensus about the treatment of the dinosaurs? Is everyone like, actually they're treated very well?
I'd say it's not an issue, but I don't think it's like the main issue dominating the park. I think more about like we asked the question of whether or not we could, not if we should. That's the main I think here. There's a modern day Ian Malcolm knocking around on Question Time asking all of these.
Is the park in terms of like a modern attraction site, like
bells and whistles,
and it's like it's not dated and sort of very corporate and commercial. It's not like Disney World. It's a bit more like, oh, this is cool.
Jurassic World from 2016.
Okay,
like I'm going very true to the films. Like so, minus the disaster, which may or may not happen. I'm saying the park is open. You have seen all the Jurassic Park World films you need to see to understand. Are you gonna go? Like it's a meme. Like we're all talking about it. Like I kind of think I'm going.
Maybe
I think I'm going.
If it was gifted.
Yeah, gifted because we're film influencers.
Yeah, exactly.
So
we'd have to go.
whole.
Yeah, but I don't know if I'm actually going to take annual leave, Pulp Kitchen HQ. But like, if I'm going to take
yourself
salary,
to go and see dinosaurs,
it's still going to be an expensive trip.
It's going to be I know it's going to be expensive because
that's going to be better things to do in Costa Rica than to do that.
Well, if while you're over there, you can go do things. I reckon it would be way more draining on your wallet than any modern Harry Potter World, Disneyland, or the whole of Orlando. I think it's like a super duper premium experience. But I think they would bring it. The gift shop, George? The Jurassic gift shop?
I don't know what it says about me that I just go, you've brought dinosaurs back from millions of years ago. Yeah. Maybe. Yeah, might do. I'll see it for free.
Go to space. It's quite far, isn't it?
I think it's just because why am I not interested in that?
Well, the logic is that it's set to go horribly wrong.
Oh,
You would die.
Yeah.
So I think you're not interested in seeing dinosaurs is quite. It's like a zoo on steroids.
Yeah, because the beasts are really big and they can't be contained.
There'd be rides and they'd be like.
Oh, right. I don't do rides. You know me.
You don't do rides, yeah.
Don't do rides. I can't do rides. Can't. Sorry.
He's not a rides guy.
Not a rides man. Okay, interesting question.
Yeah.
I'd see a mammoth though, but I feel like they could bring that to the UK.
This is the actual genuine story that I saw in the news the other day. It's very much a reality. I think they're bringing back loads of dire wolves that are not. Well, I think dire wolves are still around, but very much on the verge of being extinct because of human reasons. So. Again, not like properly read this. I just had this on. I was like, that'll make good waffle. But yeah, it's very interesting. The logic suggests that if they can get the DNA from dead mammoths,
Sure.
Let's have some velociraptors knocking around.
I know, but there are so many resources that we're depleting already on the planet. Why bring things back from extinction to be like, we're going to now drain more resources for these things? If I was a mammoth, I'd be like, you should have let me sleep.
Yeah.
I was gone.
Yeah.
Why have you brought this back?
He's like, this world is horrible.
It's warm. The mammoth would be like, fuck me. Jesus Christ. Open a window. Yeah. Shave me. Shave me. That's what I would say if I was a mammoth.
You go and see the mammoth. He's just slumped with a fan.
Yeah. Bald now. He's basically just like an elephant. He looks at the elephants. He goes, yeah, they had the right idea. That's why we ended up like that. I don't need to be woolly anymore. Good Lord. Welcome to episode 203 of Pulp Kitchen. If you're a new listener, welcome.
Welcome.
If you're a regular listener, welcome back. We what did we talk about last week, James? Roofman and I Swear. That's right.
Thank you.
And in that time, in the time since last week, we've been at the London Film Festival, which has been really fun and exciting. So this week, on this episode, we're going to be talking about a film that's out this Friday, which is Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere, the Bruce Springsteen biopic. And then we're also going to drop another bit of content later this week about some of the films we've seen at the London Film Festival, including Sentimental
Value and Christie.
Yes.
And Die My Love with Robert Pattinson and Jennifer Lawrence. All these films don't really have big marketing yet because they're not coming out for a few weeks, but we'll tee them up. Big films, potentially.
And also, Is This Thing On, which actually isn't out until late January, but the Bradley Cooper, Will Arnett movie. So look out for that. I'll also be talking about Harry Potter movies that I've finally gone and watched. So if you want to hear my opinion as a non-reader of the books, but a watcher of the films, what I finally think about them, look out for that as well.
He's doing his franchises now. He's doing his franchises, yeah. I think you need to do the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies. I think that's all you need to do.
We'll do that.
They're fun.
Yeah, I'll get there. I'll get there. But that's the gist for today's episode. Then we'll do some emails, and then we'll do a game. So let's do Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere. Not the most elegant title, a little bit clunky there.
Sounds like a working title to me.
Yes, based on a novel that was called, not a novel, sorry, based on a book about Bruce Springsteen that was called Deliver Me From Nowhere, but they've clearly been like, that Deliver Me From Nowhere doesn't get anyone on bums on seats, so let's just put Springsteen above it. Deliver Me From Nowhere is a very specific biopic about Bruce Springsteen. It doesn't cover all of his life. It is about a time in Bruce Springsteen's life where he was at the height of his fame. He had released many, many hit albums to that point, Off the Back of the River, Darkness on the Edge of Town, Born to Run, and he is at the peak of his powers. And at the height of his fame, he's feeling a little bit adrift and creatively burnt out, and it's clear that he needs to do something else. And there's some stuff in his past to do with his relationship with his father that is clearly holding him back. And what happened was that Bruce Springsteen kind of sequestered himself alone in this house and started to write an album that was completely different to the albums he'd written before and what people expected of Bruce Springsteen. This is the album that would become the Nebraska album, and it was darker and rawer and much more like folk music and inspired by very dark American stories, some of murder based on real life murders and sort of tales of violence. And he did it DIY. He recorded it in his room on a little sort of tape deck that he could do. It was completely different to the studio setting that he would normally record in with the E Street Band. And in the film, he's played by Jeremy Allen White, who we know from The Bear. And his good friend and manager is John Landau, whose role in this is to sort of recognize that Bruce Springsteen wants to change of direction and wants to do something different, even if Springsteen can't quite understand why he wants it himself. And meanwhile, John Landau, played by Jeremy Strong, has to also deal with the bigwigs at the record company, explain that what Springsteen is really important, even though they are just craving the next big thing, the next hit. This takes place in the early 1980s, and I think it's worth saying that I saw this at the gala screening at the London Film Festival. And the cast came on at the beginning, and this is the Royal Festival Hall, so it's a huge venue. And the cast came on, and then Bruce Springsteen was there himself. And I tell you what, like the energy in the room was like electric when he came on. You know when we saw Tarantino, like when he came on stage live, it was like amazing. This is like genuinely
big crowd as
people
well.
like standing ovation, clapping him.
And sorry, the energy in Royal Festival Hall really holds in that room, unlike a normal cinema where it kind of dampens a bit.
It's a proper auditorium, isn't it? And that was really, really electric. And a couple of interesting things came out of it. Scott Cooper, who's the writer and director on this, he's made films like Crazy Heart, Out of the Furnace, Black Mass. He lost his house in the Hollywood fires while they were filming this film. Terrible. And he turned up one day to like shoot this really intimate scene at the house. And they were like, "You okay, Scott?" And he's like, "Oh no, I've lost my entire home." So he was telling this on stage and he was crying. And also, in the cast you have Stephen Graham playing Bruce Springsteen's father in flashbacks. And then they introduced the film, which was great. And also, whenever Springsteen spoke, he just spoke like such an artist and a poet. So they said, "What did you think of how was it with this film, Bruce?" And he's like, "Well, my mom and pa have been passed for a long while now." I'm like, that's a bit too southern. Obviously, he's from New York, but like, and I was like, wow, he's into it. And then the really strange thing happened, which is I don't think you and I have ever had this with a screening, which is that they all left. But Bruce stayed and watched the film. He walked up the aisle and they like showed him to his seat and everyone couldn't believe it.
Was it the first time it was being screened?
No, I don't think so. I think it had been shown in Telluride or Venice. And
but if he wasn't there, I guess maybe this was
I was pretty sure he'd seen it because the way he was talking about it was like, "Oh yeah, I've seen Jeremy and stuff." But he stayed and watched the whole movie because he got up at the end. So, and I wanted to be like, well, first of all, Bruce, this is your life. You lived this. You were there. Awkward, you know what happens at the end. But that was really exciting and cool. I think it's also worth saying that, before I get into my review, and I'll hear what James you think. Like I come from this as a Springsteen fan, as a Springsteen enthusiast, and I think that's quite important to this. I think that's all we need to say. From the setup of this movie, that's the description about it. This is the particular time. It's quite a sort of the album that he works in the film is regarded as quite highly as one of the great albums of all time. I think that's it from me, James. You saw it, and you come from a different position to me.
Saw it at LFF as well. In like a sort of festival crowds are like opinionated in a nice way, but also like as you're coming in and out, you hear lots of opinions. Everyone's like everyone's talking and doing things. Even if you're not part of a conversation, you'll overhear lots of conversations. So you also can get quite a good sense of like how people are enjoying the other films they've seen, and if not, they enjoyed the one that you've just seen or not, or if people are excited. So enjoy the music of Springsteen, but I'm really not a scholar. Like it's nothing against it. It's just like music my parents' generation would be more into, just not necessarily my wheelhouse. Really don't know anything about his life. I remember we talked about this on Double Take when like the trailer came out. I was like, cool, new person, new life. I look forward to understanding who the character of Bruce Springsteen is. First of all, I really like Jeremy Allen White in this. I think he really does a good job. And like I think Jeremy Strong as well as John Landau. He always kind of overacts a little bit, Jeremy Strong, but it actually works, and I kind of forgive him for it because specifically in this, he brings this wonderful warmth to that character and a really great understanding of like their relationship and the really sort of complicated, I produce you, but you're my artist. It's a really emotional thing for you to get up on stage. And as soon as Jeremy Strong started, I was like, I really like the work you're doing here. And I really believe that relationship, actually. Stephen Graham, just good in everything. Can't do no wrong. David Krumholtz.
Oh, I love David Krumholtz.
Always just a great presence. And again, just like the conversations being had and all the stuff to do with music being made and the people in the room at that time making something happen. The story behind the art, I'm always a sucker for that. And I love sort of the moments where they are in a studio, as you said, and it's not quite coming together for some people, but he's insisting it looks this way. Like learning about that for me as a non-Springsteen fan, I think was really, really great. my main problem with the film, like it looks gorgeous in the same way sort of with Complete Unknown. Is that like it sounds wonderful, and it's when the music does happen, it's such a pleasure to listen to the film as well. My main problem is that I was so profoundly bored by the movie, and I'm sure there are so many cues and things that were said that I just didn't understand. But immediately 15-20 minutes in, I was like, I don't really know who the character of Bruce Springsteen is. I'm deeply sad that Bruce Springsteen was dealing with enormous amounts of depression from moments from his childhood that were influencing his art. I'm not trying to take away from how, sad that must have been and how it would have influenced one of the great albums of all time. I just didn't care, and it's such a shame for me. I just didn't get to know who Springsteen was. Now, I didn't need you to do Springsteen's played his first song here and his journey here, and this was the first time he played in front of a crowd. Not saying I needed that type of musical biopic, but as a regular film goer who wasn't emotionally invested, the film for me really failed to make me care. There was a lot of Bruce Springsteen sitting on the floor of his room, holding a guitar, looking depressed, looking out the window. I think as a film, I would like to not show that he was depressed. I understand it's a very specific vertical slice of his life. I just think the film needs to oscillate in tone and go, okay, so we've done that side of it. What else can we offer audiences? So I was checking my watch. I was waiting for it to end. The flashbacks where it sort of shows why he feels the way he feels, I understood, but it was sort of like, okay, we're doing another one. And then it cuts back to modern day where he's just sad again. And there's a specific scene when, John Landau plays the album to David Krumholtz. And David Krumholtz is sitting there in a sort of like very muted room going, is this it? Is this all we've got here? I really don't understand it. And that's kind of how I felt. And sort of with Scott Cooper, who's a filmmaker I think does good work, I can now maybe look at some of his films and be like, there's a sort of like homogenized resonance to some of them where sometimes I feel like he needs to just do a gear change and like we talked about like The Pale Blue Eye. It's like it gets atmosphere and mood so well, but I almost feel like you need to give me something else to latch onto here. And I know that loads of Springsteen fans, and I'm sure you're going to come and say, look, I really enjoyed this detail, to speak for you, but I'm not so interested in hearing just other Springsteen fans do it. And for them, like, so happy if that's there. I would review it. If you're listening to somebody who's not a Springsteen fan, I worry you might be really, really bored. And that's where I felt with it. And I just, pleasure to be with it. Beautiful, well acted. I didn't care, and that's such a shame.
Yeah,
such a shame.
I think I do feel differently to you, but I will say that everything you've said is perfectly fair. And it actually brings up this debate about who is this film for, in a way.
There you go.
Because I actually think everything Scott Cooper is doing in this movie, I actually really got on board with, and I believe I could see. Actually, for once, I normally find Scott Cooper as a guy who makes almost good movies. It's almost there. But this one, I was like, I really believe, and I get the vision you're going with here. It looks like a mainstream major movie.
Totally, yeah.
But the problem is actually, it's actually quite a niche movie. It's about a very specific time with a specific artist in a specific era writing a specific album. And I do think that if you're just a casual Springsteen fan, which is it's not a problem,
most people, the majority of people,
it's like, this really isn't for you. I have to say, as someone like myself, this year alone, I've really got it. I like Springsteen anyway, but this year in particular, I've really found I've got into him more and more. I have like 5 of his albums on vinyl, as we've talked about on the show before, and I've always really resonated. What I really, really like as I get older is his songwriting is like a balance between sonically rousing tunes, but lyrically incredibly bleak and difficult. And like, Born to Run is a rousing song, but the lyrics are, baby, this town rips the bones from your back is a death trap. It's a suicide rap. It's like horrible. And I really vibe with that. And so I kind of, subjective to me this year, when I arrived and I sat and watched Springsteen the movie, I'm not just a fan, I'm kind of like an enthusiast, and it totally worked for me. And I was like, I'm really, really enjoying this. But I do agree, there were scenes where I was like, I'm getting a lot out of this. I don't know who anyone else will. I feel like you mentioned that scene with David Krumholtz when he's like, is this it? I feel like I'm John Landau in that scene. Because John Landau says,
it's
he says something like, and here we believe in Bruce Springsteen. Okay, and that's it. And it's like, I already believe in Bruce Springsteen as a great artist and a great songwriter.
Yeah.
So when you're showing me a film of him doing his process, particularly at a sort of like his most interesting creative period when he's trying something else, I'm like, yeah, this is, no pun intended, music to my ears. I'm really enjoying this. But I totally get if it's not for everyone's vibe. There's a moment where they're working through the track list in the studio, and it's like, the tracks they go over, they write down this. I'm like, yeah, I know exactly what happens with all of those songs. Those are all great songs, but I know where they go. So I'm finding that quite interesting and fun, seeing the minutiae of putting that apart. But I totally get why that is not interesting for you, because why would that be? No. So it's almost like it's almost as niche as like the Beatles documentary Get Back, which was 9 hours long. Do you remember that came out a few years ago? Yeah. It's like, I wouldn't expect you as a casual listener to go and really watch that or really enjoy that. But it's the same thing with Springsteen. It might look like a mainstream biopic, but actually it's about this really niche thing. I really vibed with it. I really liked this story, this idea of not just an artist who's burnt out and lost and trying to sort of rediscover and redefine what their art means, and also fighting the commercialization of their art, particularly in the 1980s. But I also like it's about how great art can come from great pain, and art can heal pain, but only to a point. Yeah. And also kind of Bruce Springsteen was becoming the kind of bit how Dylan was in A Complete Unknown. Springsteen was becoming like this figurehead of American songwriting, this blue collar poet, and his songs getting played all the time on American radio, and he was associated with America. But it's like with Nebraska, he's not just thinking about himself. He's like, what actually is America? And we see these scenes of him seeing lots of clips from Terrence Malick's Badlands, which is a great movie, by the way. And he's reminded that actually it's not all, sunshine and rainbows. It's actually grit and murder and darkness. Although that's always been in Springsteen's music. But like, it's like he's gone, no, for me to actually go forward, I need to go into sort of the heartland of myself and America. And that's why he calls the album Nebraska. And I think, I knew straight away this is a film where you only get, the poster has Jeremy Allen White sort of fist bumping his air and jumping with the guitar.
Which I don't think reflects the film.
It doesn't reflect the film at all. You get the final bars of Born to Run, and you get one moment of Born in the USA, but the rest of it is Nebraska.
Light on the music, actually, for a musical biopic.
But yeah.
It's not like song after song.
No, it's not. This isn't a greatest hits album. No. I really think that in a way, to sum up how you're going to feel about the movie, it's whether you're a Springsteen fan, but go put on the Nebraska album.
Oh yeah, and if you want to enjoy it more,
because that's what they play the entire way through the music. And if you go, okay, this is not really my thing, it's like, you're not really going to enjoy the understanding of the creation of this. But I did. I know it's not for most people, but I was actually surprised because I had very low expectations. I've been kind of mixed on Jeremy Allen White in the past. I think he's a good actor, but I just thought he'd been misplaced in The Bear. I think he's really good in this. I was really delighted. I thought Jeremy Strong was great.
It's a one-note performance because of the writing for me, but I still think he did what he did well.
And another musical biopic. It's not my favorite genre, but I really did get into this. But be warned, if you're not... It's not even just like a Springsteen fan. If you're not a Springsteen enthusiast and you're really on board with him and you want to vibe and be in his headspace.
And I don't think that like Scott Cooper needs to make a film for me or for mainstream fans for it to be successful. I'm just saying, for me, the film failed. Yeah. Like purely from my own isolated experience, and I have a theory for lots of other people it could do as well. I don't think that he needs to pander. If he wants to make that type of film, and he's a big Springsteen fan, and Springsteen maybe told the exact type of story he wanted to do, like, by all means, I can only comment on how I was just like very bored. It was a bit like I was watching season 3 of a really high-end TV show I hadn't seen seasons 1 and 2 of.
That's really
it's a character I just like hadn't really got to know yet. Yeah, and so that's what I really felt with it. But sort of just specifically things I quite liked about, again, it was all a bit mopey around for me, but like him experiencing fame and how that changed how he thought he was going to be perceived for that album. And because there was 2 moments, I think, within 15, 20 minutes of each other where he's standing outside a venue and someone's like, Springsteen, you fucking suck. And then someone else is like, oh, I love you, man. Your music's so good. It's like you get, as you grow in fame, like different things, and that must kind of mess with your creative process over what you want to do.
Yeah, I also like this idea that he feels this need to create Nebraska and to create this album, but he actually doesn't quite know why. It's kind of pouring forth from him, and he's just
memories and writing.
I just need to be given basically a pen and a paper and a guitar and recording equipment in my bedroom, and I'll do it that way. And that was kind of like the history of you know, Nebraska, the album, that was quite a pioneering album for, you know, do it yourself music, as I said earlier. But there were kind of men behind me in their 50s who were kind of like going, to loads of different moments.
I had a man next to me who was having the greatest time ever. And, like, he was tapping his leg, which was quite annoying during Born in the USA when it happened. But he was clearly having a good time. And then, like, on my way out, there were lots of people being like, "Oh, that was really long. I really struggled with that."
So I think it's interesting because the split is kind of like I would say, yeah, it does have value for the right people
For sure.
Because I saw it with friend of the show, Zaher, is an editor,
Yes.
and he's not really that. He's like you, and he was like, yeah, it's okay. He's like, maybe I kind of resonated with the father-son thing the most. And then I caught up with Em Woolbank, friend of the show. She's a big Springsteen fan,
Right.
and she had watched the Road Diaries documentary that came out on Disney like last year. And she was like, oh my God, I loved it. She was like, I resonated with it so much. I made so much sense, all the stuff in the past. Yeah. So, as we've said, if you're a scholar, it kind of helps.
By all means.
Although it is posy and mopey, I'm also happy that it's not quite as grandiose as I thought it was going to be. In the trailer, there's a bit where John Landau is like, Bruce Springsteen is going to change the soul of this nation. And then change the world. Thankfully, that actually isn't in the movie.
Oh, and George, I think like we probably prefer this style of biopic than what most of them are.
Yeah.
Which is something very different, which actually, like, and you know what, George, in another world, this is a different film and we're complaining that it's too broad strokes, mainstream. And I really do want to emphasize that point because I think I would moan either side. So actually, I'm quite happy it serves Springsteen fans. I've left with basically still quite empty-handed, but I'm glad it's not this is going to change the world. This album is going to set the entire thing.
It's like this guy was sad. It's kind of So I find it hard to recommend to people. If someone said to me, "Oh, should I go see the Springsteen thing?" and I have to be like, name me 6 Bruce Springsteen songs.
Yeah.
And if you can do that, then
Which is a horrible
tell me
thing
your
to do.
favorite album, and then I'll
It'll
tell you
save
to
you
go
2
watch.
hours.
Yes, exactly.
But like, I think if this film, by the way, hadn't been, I just think really well accomplished on a technical level, like acting, performance, music, all of that, cinematography, I could have really lost my patience with it.
Yes.
But everything about it was just really well made and well done. So I'm like, this isn't for me.
Also, isn't it nice that you said about Jeremy Strong's role being kind of warm? It's nice that we don't normally get warmth from him.
Yeah.
We usually get kind of bulldoggy kind of characters.
Glazed over, numb, unaffected, where he is very...
Like when he's about to play Zuckerberg next year.
which we'll get.
Be perfect. But this actually, you're right, he's warmly supportive.
So much, I can't wait.
He's got the glasses and the big jumper. And he's like, okay, Bruce.
Comes into his... I mean, it was great. You were great.
And then, I did get excited because it's like, how does it, like, from a creative point of view, because he's writing this album, Nebraska, but he's also putting down tracks that would go on to form Born in the USA. And he's like written Born in the USA. And he plays it and you're like, yeah, that's a surefire hit, but an anti-American song, by the way, just in case anyone was in any doubt. And people think it's a patriotic song. It's not a patriotic song at all. And I'm like, you're sitting on like solid gold. And that's why I find it interesting in the film where John Landau has to be like, oh, even though I've got something that's a surefire hit, because I believe in my artist over the product, I believe in the artist first, product second, I have to sit on this, wait for it, and just do what Bruce wants first. And I found that quite interesting.
We're doing no singles,
no
tour,
no press.
There was also, help me help you. That was funny. I thought that was quite funny.
There's also like Mark Maron is in it for like a long time, and like for a long time he doesn't say anything, and I was like, are we gonna get no lines from Mark Maron? Eventually he does, but I was like, it was just a long time. He was just sitting at a keyboard,
like really, it was like I'm trying to lift this out of the
Paul Walter Hauser in it as well, as a Paul Walter Hauser type figure.
Totally. Well, guys, if you get when is Springsteen out? By the way, this Friday,
Friday 24th of October.
So, guys, if you've gone to see Springsteen, by all means, let us know. Were you already a Springsteen fan or not? And if you enjoyed it, please send us your thoughts to hello@popkitchenpodcast.com. We'll read them out on the show.
So the title is Springsteen, then with a line underneath it, Deliver Me From Nowhere. I'd say if you're going for the Deliver Me From Nowhere, you're going to have a great time. Yeah. If you're going just for Springsteen,
it delivered me nowhere. It delivered me nothing from nowhere.
Delivered me nowhere. Very good.
Lovely. George, should we go through some of the emails that we get sent into the show every single week? As always, guys, if you want to send in your thoughts, your questions, your concerns, your reviews, you can, of course, send them into
hello@pulpkitchenpodcast.com.
Oh, yes, you can. Just like Yanis did. Yanis writes in and says, hello, George and James. I just wanted to say a big congrats for Pulp Kitchen 200.
So I would just say, Yanis came to our show, and Yanis is, for those who are listening, is the one who emails us with lots of emojis.
Of course, and straight away, 3 waving hello emojis. It was such a good experience. It was interesting to hear all of your thoughts on the best films of the 2020s, and I couldn't stop laughing at the vid from the second half. I also wanted to clarify when I said Emilia Perez wasn't that bad. I didn't like it that much, but I don't think I can necessarily call it a bad film.
It is bad.
Normally, we focus on the narrative and acting when talking about what makes a film good or bad, but Emilia Perez had great cinematography, interesting editing, good choreography, great use of lighting, and all right songs. The concept was nice, not the lyrics though.
I don't know.
Giannis, I love you, man.
I accept the cinematography and the editing and maybe the choreography. Sure, the lighting.
It's a strange premise
I don't know if
to
the
me.
songs are all right. I think that's.
No.
I don't know.
No. Personally, there's a lot good and a lot bad, so it kind of balances out. In the same way, I don't like Eternals, but wow, the VFX and costume design is incredible. I pretty much agree with the top 10 list, especially Top Gun Maverick. That was surprising. I forgot about that. Personally, though, Sinners or One Battle feels too early to put on the list. The Batman was one I voted for, which unfortunately didn't show up. And of course, Dune Part 2 at the top really just makes the fact that the Academy didn't properly recognise it more disappointing. Any upcoming films you think could make it on the list, e.g. Odyssey, Beyond the Spider-Verse, Spielberg's Peels, etc. Once again, big congrats. It was such a great event. Firstly, Giannis, thank you so much for your kind words.
Yes,
and thank you to
it was
everyone
nice to
who
meet you.
obviously couldn't make it, but has gone on to watch and listen to the show. It's got loads of people listening to it. If you don't know, we did a big live show for our 200th episode, and we live revealed your votes for what were the best films of the 2020s so far. And we're going to do a follow-up with all the data, aren't we?
We'll gather
there's loads
ourselves.
of interesting data in there just to talk about and go
We've
through.
really, James and I've kind of reset, so we're just sort of slowly gathering ourselves back now to whatever. But yes, thank you, Yanis, for that.
Sorry, any upcoming films? The Odyssey, for sure.
Yeah, could be on the list. Oh, but in 5 years' time. Yeah.
Oh, well, in 5 years' time. It's hard to tell what's going to be really big. It's like thinking about mainstream ones, because a lot of our winners were mainstream ones.
Scorsese's next movie, maybe.
Scorsese's next movie. Like things like if The Batman Part 2 is a Dark Knight-esque follow-up to Part 1, that could really resonate with people. It's a big, in terms of like what people are going to love.
Big if true. This next one.
Dune Messiah. If they bring that home.
I just don't, well.
I agree. I feel like it's, I don't know.
But I don't need it to be amazing. I just want it to be good enough that architecturally in the structure of a trilogy, you can go, yes, it was Dune
part
up
3.
into 2, ends in like an arch.
I don't want it to be and also.
Yeah, no,
Dune
I don't want it to be a
3,
Godfather
they're calling
situation.
it Part 3, yeah.
I want it to be like, oh, that's a cohesive whole.
Did we talk about this on Double Take? It was like they made Dune Book 1 into 2 films.
Yes.
But they've, instead of calling it Dune Messiah, they're taking more than one Dune book and calling it Part 3.
Oh, are they? I thought it was they're just doing Dune Messiah.
Maybe it's not known. I think they changed the Messiah title because they're drawing on multiple following books. If you know, by all means, email in. And listen to Double Take, our Patreon exclusive news show where we cover all things happening in film with more accuracy than we do on Pulp Kitchen episodes.
This next one, also about episode 200, is from Robson, who wrote this in the evening after the night before. Dear George and James, putting my foot down on this one. Hey, there you go. Long-time listener, first-time emailer here. Just wanted to give you fellas a quick message to say huge congratulations on reaching 200 episodes. It's a great achievement and one you should both be proud of. Personally, I had a lovely evening attending the live recording. Great job, lads. As well as finally meeting some of my fellow Discord members in person. By the way, that was like what a highlight. We saw all the Discordies together. They went for a drink.
It was amazing.
Beforehand, like
so good.
A community. A group whom I now consider friends. If that's not a good selling point for Patreon, I don't know what is. George, I think I somehow accidentally managed to speak to the entirety of your extended family in attendance. Your dad in particular gave me a good laugh about getting suckered in by the merch. James, I didn't have the pleasure to speak to any of yours, but considering that I repeatedly and drunkenly told you how much I enjoy all your work before sprinting off to my train, they may have been better off. Just a quick film-related question before I go. One of my favourite aspects of watching more films is recognising references that I've seen in things such as The Simpsons, e.g. Marge pre-warning before... the pre-warning before the Treehouse of Horror episodes being a reference to early horror films such as Frankenstein. Have you also experienced this? And what are your favourite pop culture references that have made you do the Leo pointing meme? Apologies for the longer than intended email. Keep up the great work. And here's to another 200 episodes and beyond. Many thanks, Robson.
I see, like, there were so many things in just in like loads of episodes of Family Guy that reference great films. Like Seth MacFarlane clearly loves cinema and movies, and like watching Family Guy as a film fan, there are so many sketches and little cutaways. You're like, oh, that's a really deep cut from Hook.
Yeah,
that I really appreciate. If you haven't seen it, that bit's just lost on you. I kind of enjoy that.
I think Robson, for me, you've hit the nail on the head, which is that I think I underestimate how much of an imprint and how important the Simpsons Treehouse of Horror episodes did in getting me interested in film, because you would have, you know, an entire 10-minute or 8-minute sketch about one particular film. And for example, there's one about The Shining. And I remember seeing that being like, this is such a specific joke. What is this world that they're referencing? And I wanted to find out more about it. And then when you go and see those films and you see it harks back to it, and even actually in just general Simpsons episodes, there's just references to movies. I really enjoy the kind of pop culture references. So I just enjoyed it. I don't know, I've asked you a question, but just, yeah.
Like, it's nice to like be part of those moments when someone else is speaking. It's like writers reaching out to film fans. You go,
you're almost quoting the History Boys there. Do you know that?
Oh, am I?
You're quoting, you know, the History Boys?
Yeah, but there's a quote. I've seen it once.
He says something like, oh, when you see something that resonates with you, it's like a hand has reached out and grabbed yours.
That just came from me naturally. I'm just naturally really
Look at you.
Impressive. This next one is from Ryan, who writes in about Tron Ares, which we haven't seen because I feel like it's spoken for.
It also came out the week we were doing episode 200, so it's convenient for us to have not seen it.
I saw a TikTok which was Jared Leto came to a cinema screening to surprise the viewers of a Tron Ares screening, and it was like half empty and super awkward, and it was really bad. And it was like he came out and there was this tepid, like dampened applause before the screen.
We also talked about this in Double Take, how Tron Ares has flopped and how Jared Leto's
his biggest flop.
Any claim he has at being a star is completely over.
It's his biggest flop amongst the back of like Morbius and something else he's done.
Gucci.
House of Gucci. Like,
House of Gucci! Why do you do this to me?
I think I said like it was like Jared Leto didn't rehearse with the rest of the cast. He came in on the day. Ryan says, "Hey, hello guys! Huge congratulations on reaching 200. Just want to say thank you for what you've given us all, and I can't wait for what's to come. Thank you." I've been a bit of a movie watching slump as of late. I've been in a bit of a movie watching slump as of late, but I did manage to find a window to see Tron Ares in IMAX 3D tonight.
Goodness.
Not a film I was excited to see, but happy to fit it in nicely. And I'll say that I'm actually glad I saw it, especially in 3D, surprisingly. Just holding into that 3D, just like, we're going to do it 3D.
Yeah. The whole film feels like it came out 10 years ago. So like it fits that it's in 3D.
2012 kind of vibes. The film is visually stunning and the score by Nine Inch Nails was incredible. This combination is a viewing treat that the use of 3D in the film is the first time since seeing Avatar: The Way of Water where I thought that this could actually work. The 3D effect brought the grid... What?
This 3D thing.
I think this could go somewhere. It's going to be big. At the end. Wow, that was immersive. What about Avatar 1? Was that not... I was interested in the second one. Because the second one for me was too much. The 3D effect brought the grid to life and gave another aspect to the film that I wasn't expecting. Just shows when done correctly that 3D is an amazing experience that unfortunately hampers the need for glasses in this point of time. I do agree that 3D done correctly is compelling. I think it got into a trap if it became like this default offering for any mainstream action film.
I don't think I've ever seen a 3D thing and gone, wow, I'm glad that's in 3D.
Gravity and Avatar 1, I was like, that was pretty immersive. Yeah. I only have any glass at the time. Anyway, back to the film. I really enjoyed it as a whole, but the storyline was a bit bland. It was obvious pretty quickly what Jared's arc was going to be, but I don't think the director was trying to hide this anyway. Apart from this, I think that this is the kind of film that perfectly suits Jared, as I think he was pretty solid in this. I do wish we got a bit more character building with him, but I guess cutting that out to reduce the runtime was a better option. I'm usually a fan of Jodie Turner-Smith. However, I didn't like her performance in this film. What was meant to be a menacing, ruthless character just didn't come across through the screen, and I would say she was the weakest part in this, although it's not a film of amazing performances anyway. I'm excited to see where they end up taking the franchise. I feel like there is something amazing there, but they just haven't quite got it figured out just yet. Maybe whatever that mid-credit was teasing is the key to unlock it all, but it went over my head, so who knows? Thanks again for this amazing podcast. Godspeed, Ryan.
Look, Ryan, sorry.
You are the only person.
Yeah. But also why I laugh is you started that email by being like, I had a really good time, and you actually sort of ended up making it sound worse by describing it.
You know who we asked, like, who's excited for the next Tron Ares? Who's asking where the franchise is going?
Ryan is.
It's you, Ryan. You're the one wondering. I'm happy for you.
And when you say, I'm excited to see where they end up taking this franchise, I think they're taking it nowhere. That's it.
That's it.
It's going back into the Disney vault and they're locking it and they'll pull it out in 20 years' time again.
And they will bring it back.
Of course.
I think we'll get... when do you think we'll get another Tron film?
Or a Tron... I think the best thing that will probably happen... So they've... Disney owns the rights, and they probably decided to make the movie, even though it's been in production for like 10 years, they probably decided to get the go-ahead so they could hold on to the rights to it.
Yes, and if it does well, immediately get a sequel going.
Which doesn't happen now. So I think they will probably sit on it for like another 10 years and maybe develop a series.
I reckon they ask the question in 10 years.
Yes.
And then you get 12, 13 years.
You know what it is? Even producer right now is setting an alert in the work calendar for 2035.
I genuinely
and January 1st, 2035. It's going to ding. Tron is
Tron
up for renewal. Oh,
I genuinely think in some sort of like presentation they go, and here are all of our intellectual property, and they'll run through, and they'll have this one, and they'll go Tron, and someone will go, what's that? What are we doing with? And what are we doing with Tron?
I think it's more chaotic. I think they get all the IP titles, they pour it into a fishbowl, and at the Disney Christmas party, they blindfold someone. Gary, come here!
Let's reboot!
What is it? Moana! Okay.
Oh, should we put it in the live action remake?
Yeah, throw a dart. Oh. Yeah. It's like they get all the Disney cartoons. Mulan! We're going to do Mulan! Yeah. What did you get, Keith? I got Tron. Hard luck. Oh, excellent. Okay, this next email is from Gavin, who writes about I Swear, which I reviewed last week. Gavin says, hi, George and James and George. My name's Gavin, and I've been listening to you for quite a while now, so much so that I'm a fully fledged siren, and I never miss the double take episodes.
Welcome to the club.
You, Gavin. I've been meaning to email for a while, but wasn't sure what to talk about. I've just come out of the cinema after seeing the new film I Swear, and I thought I'd share a few thoughts. If you haven't had a chance to see it yet, I know you are both busy.
George saw it and reviewed it.
I reviewed it last week, my friend. Oh, maybe he sent this before who knows? You know what? I won't hold it against you, Gavin. It's not a problem. I really recommend finding a spare 2 hours to see it. It's a true story about the life of, John Davidson and how he's lived with Tourette's syndrome through his youth and his adult life. I thought it was absolutely brilliant. The film takes you through so many emotions, laughter, sadness, and happiness, to name a few. The performances were excellent, and it was great to see Robert Aramayo in a lead role. Maxine Peake was wonderful as always, and the young actor playing the young John gave one of the best child performances I've seen in years. Yes, it's also been, I just want to say on that point, it's been a great year for kid performances.
Yeah.
Owen Cooper in Adolescence.
Yeah.
Spike in 28 Years Later.
Yes.
I thought even the kids in The Roses were quite good.
Yeah. Kids and Weapons.
The kids in Weapons. Yes,
the main
kid in Weapons. Yes, absolutely right. If you'd, I'd love to hear your thoughts. All the best, Gavin. P.S. Thanks for rejuvenating my love of film. I look forward to both the podcast and double take episodes every week.
Thank you so much.
Also, we put out the review clip on socials of I Swear. Lots of great reactions.
Yes,
people have saying the same things to you, Gavin, which people have come out of the cinema and gone, oh my God, I love that movie so much. It was so nice. So
I feel like the film is more prominent in the conversation than I thought it was when I saw the trailer for it. I thought that looks like an interesting film. Like, to me, it's like a British true story. But then I'm actually hearing a lot of people talking about it.
Bit of a word of mouth hit.
Bit of a word of mouther. This next one is from, I'm going to go for Denis, who says, Dear Chase and Infinity, Dear Bing Bang and Axial Tilt. Firstly, thank you so much for this amazing podcast. May the Pulp Kitchen never stop cooking. Secondly, I finally found an excuse to send you an email. Hopefully it won't come across as, actually type of thing. I think it's actually, isn't it? Actually. Secondly, by the way, lots of people at 200 were like, I haven't sent an email yet. And I'm like, send an email! Send an email! Okay, I'll send an email. Secondly, I find an excuse to send it, your recent foray, EP201, into planetary science and cosmology was fascinating to listen to. So while you sort of got there in the end with the visual aid of George's phone orbiting the mic, I think I could clarify a few things.
So if you remember this episode from a few weeks ago, we started to talk about and then quickly realised we were way out of our depth with our understanding of the planetary solar system and how they
axis spin. And spinning on the axis versus around. Denis goes on to say, in bold, to make it very clear, bullet point 1. All planets and moons in the solar system rotate around their invisible axis. This rotation is not due to the Big Bang, but from the time when planets formed from the protoplanetary disk spinning around the sun, a few billion years later than the Big Bang. Mercury is locked in a 3x2 spin orbit resonance with the sun. In other words, it rotates 3 times around its axis for every 2 revolutions around the sun. That's cool. Compared to 365 to 1 for Earth.
Yes.
These very long nights and days indeed lead to extreme temperature swings. So sending a crewed mission mission there is not a great idea, even if led by Bruce Willis.
Because that's what we were talking about. If they made a sequel to Armageddon, where would they go?
And I was like, you can't go to Mercury.
Mercury.
So, and I was like, Venus is hotter than Mercury. Yeah. You were correct that the axial tilt relative to their orbital plane, or if you want to show off the official term, is obliquity, is what gives Earth its seasons. Many other planets and moons have this tilt and experience seasons too.
Right.
The surface of Venus is indeed hotter than that of Mercury, even though Venus is further away from the sun. Why? Because of the greenhouse effect. Venus has a very thick atmosphere made mostly of carbon dioxide. We could, however, send an Armageddon 2 mission to the clouds of Venus. There, the temperature is close to room temperature on Earth, but it would probably look too much like the Cloud City on planet Bespin from Empire Strikes Back.
Great for dropping in the fact that the planet is called Bespin and Cloud City is the place. That's a good pub quiz knowledge, isn't it? I would, if you said to me right now, what planet is Cloud City on? I wouldn't be able to say Bespin. Would you have known that?
Yeah, I know it's Bespin. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Do they say Bespin often? I don't know.
Yeah, I knew that.
Pass me by.
It's all right. Too long didn't read, which is a new thing you didn't realize. All planets spin around their axes. That's a day. Often a planet's axis is tilted. That gives it seasons. Mercury and Venus are both very hot, but not for the same reason. Apologies for this extra long email. Sirens on my end. Good luck with episode 200. Cheers, Denis. First-time emailer, Patreon supporter, lecturer in astrophysics. Lecturer in astrophysics at the University of Bristol.
Mate, put that to the top of the email.
Straight to the top.
A lecturer in astrophysics.
There we go.
And we have been lectured. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, just lovely clarity there. A little bit of information. I loved about the 3-2 spin of Mercury, like for every 2 rotations. Yeah, that's so good. Thank you. Cheers, Lee. P.S. Futurama did the best Uranus joke, and you send a YouTube link. P.P.S. As you can judge for the email subject, I really enjoyed one battle after another. In fact, it might be the movie of 2025 for me.
Denis, I love that. And just remind anyone, if you're sitting on a massively niche interest or subject, not even that niche, but like you just know a lot about something, a specialism, and it comes up on the show, just email it in, correct us.
It was very good. And then
like James did with the, not you, James Listener, about sparkling water at that time.
That was good.
Impregnated
very
water.
Good. Yes, impregnated water.
Johann Schwett.
Did he just also just goes on to say, forgot my question for the show, keeping it in tune with the theme, what fictional planet would you most like to visit?
Fictional planet.
I
immediately go to Star Wars.
I do think Naboo. Because it's like Lake Como. Yeah.
Is Naboo the city or the planet? It's the planet.
Naboo's the planet.
Yeah, it's basically, like Como, isn't it? It's like sort of Venetian.
It's like a beautiful sort of, like Venetian garden.
Oh, it's lovely.
Style.
Yeah.
I go to retire in Naboo.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I'm done.
You're done in the
I've been
Coruscant
in Coruscant. Just I'd like to live in Coruscant. I think
the pollution.
You know what? I'd love to go to Coruscant.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it too industrial?
Yeah,
too
but I'd love to see it. I'd love to walk the streets, get in my flying car and go to a bar.
There doesn't look like there's a blade of grass in Coruscant.
No, definitely not. Jedi Temple would be cool to visit, not that they allow visitors.
Oh my God, I can so see that. I'm just visiting. I'm a really big fan. Can I take
you think there's a gift shop at the Jedi Temple? Little Yoda Slurpees.
Yeah, probably.
You see Mace Windu, you're like, oh my God, that's
it's the purple one.
Yeah, I'd like to do both Coruscant, not to do basic with Star Wars, both Coruscant and Naboo, I think. You know where like Anakin and Padme have their love in Attack of the Clones, all of that.
Do you think the lads' holiday destination is like Tatooine and they all go on like the Jabba, the ride around the Sarlacc pit?
Mos Eisley is the Iron Apple of the Star Wars.
Yes. It is, that's true. Well, he's off to Mos Eisley.
With the boys.
Yeah.
He got caught with drugs in Mos Eisley. He said Jabba's got him now.
Good question. This next email, final email, is from Nathan, who writes in and says, Boys, since there was no plane film research for me to be done on my 40-minute flight between Glasgow and Belfast, I'm bringing you some alternative statistics inspired by last week's bonus episode. Well, this is quite a few weeks ago now, but I don't know what episode that was. But yes, we often talk about what flights have been and what we're looking at the back of people's chairs. Plane spotting. But and this, he's got a different one. As I was dawdling my way through duty free, I was reminded of your conversations about fame and followings. And so decided to take a poll of all the recognizable faces being used to flog perfume, cosmetics, and eyewear.
Yes, very
Feel
good.
free to turn this into some sort of mini game. First up, of the 25 faces I recognized, here's the ranking by primary job. 17 actors, 3 musicians, 3 sports people, and 2 models. Perhaps not a surprise that actors come out on top, but the winning margin is impressive, and it's a notable contrast to the list of top Instagram accounts. And here's the full list of names sorted by age. I think it's an interesting look at who the big, bad capitalists think are the hottest, most profitable names and faces out there, more in line with your tiers of actors than the Instagram followers, and more likely to evolve quickly from year to year. Interesting. So here are the people who are flogging luxury goods and in duty free. Tilda Swinton.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Makeup. She's got very unique.
I thought it'd be like
skin.
or like Bulgari or something. Do you think?
Yeah, could be. Do you know what? I don't know.
I don't know. I wouldn't. She's so sort of like cool. I wouldn't expect her to be doing that. Anyway, Johnny Depp. He's got like some long thing. Jennifer Lopez, obviously.
Sure, whatever.
Naomi Campbell, obviously. Bradley Cooper,
he's got
Beckham,
perfume.
Jake Gyllenhaal, Natalie Portman, Anna de Armas, Emma Watson.
It's sorry, just before we go on, it obviously like Hollywood actors, luxury, cinema, good looking, but it's like if you're an actor, the major perfume labels sell all over the world. And when I do travel to countries that are like not sort of like European, US countries, I'm always often surprised. I'm like, God, that same perfume is being sold here in Tanzania or in Djibouti or like really niche place I've gone to. Like that elevating your brand globally and putting your face all over the world is so big if you're an actor to get that perfume job. Like it puts you everywhere.
I associate Austin Butler's YSL, Yves Saint Laurent.
Isn't he Prada now?
No, well, the one I'm thinking of is Yves Saint Laurent perfume ad from the Gatwick South Terminal. There's a specific escalator you go down, and it's just a giant.
I know exactly
picture.
the one.
It's just you've gone through security and do
after passport control going to get your bag.
Oh my God, I'm just like, hello. He's like, hey, how you doing? Other people include Aaron Taylor-Johnson, Jennifer Lawrence, Austin Butler, Ariana Grande, Dua Lipa, Timothy Chalamet, Emma Mackey, Anya Taylor-Joy, Zendaya, Kylie Jenner, Sydney Sweeney, Elle Fanning, Lando Norris. Is that a sports person? Vinicius Jr. I don't know who
Race
that
car
is.
driver.
And is Vinicius Jr.?
Vinny Jr., yeah. Vinicius.
Who's that?
He's the top 3-4 footballers.
And Billie Eilish, of course. Lots of love. No, I don't know sports. So
I think it's very tier one actor band to have your own international perfume brand. Do you know what I mean? If you're tier one, if you're Chalamet, you're Butler.
Mescal's not done it, has he? Has Mescal done any adverts for perfume?
Has Mescal done a perfume ad?
I always think it's like the easiest thing for you to cash in on because I think people don't begrudge you for doing it because they're like, that makes total sense.
It legitimizes you as a big star.
Also,
you want to be there
pay you to like look for work and get roles for the next 3 years or something
and
ridiculous.
You'll look great.
Yeah.
And subconsciously, these casting directors and these directors are flying all over the place. They go, who should I cast in my movie? And Austin Butler's like, hey there, how you doing? I just wanted a ombre.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It shapes you in you're always playing like some smooth
Turns you
character.
into the product.
Turns you into the product.
Yeah.
Lovely. Those are the emails that we had sent into the show. Guys, thank you so much. As always, if you want to send in your thoughts, your questions, your concerns, your reviews, please do send them in to future episodes to hello@pulpkitchenpodcast.com. And we'll read them out on a future episode of the show.
James, as ever, Pulp Kitchen ends
with a game.
And today is a sort of new game exercise that I've taken a cue from the film we reviewed today, which is, of course, Springsteen Delivered Me from Nowhere. And it's to do with Spotify streams. So this is not quite a film game. It's kind of branching out into the music world. So, James, for example, just as a guess, how many monthly listeners do you think Bruce Springsteen has on Spotify?
Oh, you know what? I'm not as sort of like au fait with the numbers of Spotify listeners, but I'm going to sort of throw it in and it'll be
this is just a warm-up for
It'll be increased. Game. Let's go with 10 million.
It's 19.8 million monthly listeners.
Okay.
And let's just say Coldplay, for example, monthly listeners...
Oh, I can go 30 million.
It's 91.7 million.
Oh my God.
And then if we were to take, for example, Taylor Swift.
150 mil.
107 million. So that's just the sort of the scale we're working with.
Thank you. That is actually quite useful to see.
So I thought, James, can you tell me, I'm hoping this data is correct.
Yeah.
Who are the top 10 most streamed artists on Spotify?
So, Coldplay and Taylor Swift are not in that list.
No, I didn't say that. I was just using them as a barometer to get you used to the metrics. So can you tell me who are the top 10 most streamed artists on Spotify?
Well, I'm thinking Taylor Swift has just put out an album and she's pretty big. So I'm going to say Taylor has to be up there in the top number one.
She's number one. Taylor's number one.
Okay. And then Coldplay, therefore, must be knocking around because I know you've already said.
No, Coldplay are not. Coldplay are 13th.
Interesting. Okay, so Ed Sheeran.
Ed Sheeran is 6th.
Okay. Billie Eilish.
Billie Eilish is 9th.
Justin Bieber.
Justin Bieber is 8th.
You're
doing
good at
quite well.
these.
Yeah, like you did with the Instagram one. Yeah.
Cleaning up. Charlie XCX.
Is not in the top 15.
Let's go for, I feel like Radiohead. They're quite having a
No.
hot moment. No, that's stupid.
Yeah.
The Beatles.
No.
No, yeah. Let's go for other big, Drake, is he up there?
Drake is 3rd.
Third? Wow, he's still
I know.
third.
That's crazy.
God, he's really cashing in still. No, not because he's not good, but I just feel like he doesn't, it's not really been Drake's moment, I think, for a few years, but interesting. So I've got 1, I've got 3, I've not got 2.
Yes, you've got 1 Taylor Swift, 3 Drake, 6 Ed Sheeran, 8 Justin Bieber, 9 Billie Eilish.
Is Harry Styles in there?
No.
No, he's got a recent album, doesn't he? Let's go for big music acts. Beyonce.
Not in there.
Is it like Katy Perry?
No.
No. Lady Gaga.
Good guess, but no.
There's Lady Gaga. Again, not really released music recently.
I thought she brought out an album this year, but
Did
not.
she?
She
Oh,
hasn't.
sorry.
It's not. It's not there. This is
Are there lots of historically, like people like Springsteen who are legacy artists?
this,
Active.
I think this is like live data that's like bundled to like, I think new releases massively help that. So obviously that's why Taylor Swift's probably at number 1.
Is like David Guetta in there?
No.
Because he often partners with artists. It could have been like a real elevating thing. Yeah.
I'm going to give you a couple of clues.
Yeah.
One of these artists I don't know a single track of, and I'm surprised, therefore, that they are so high up. But they were in a movie we saw this year. There's another artist who has been in a movie, not recently, but has been in a movie that we like. There is another artist who has been in a movie that we liked recently, and
So it's actor singers.
and then there is another. There's another artist who actually I don't think has put out new music, or might just be. Don't Google.
No, I'm not Googling it. I'm just going to look at our episodes to help me find.
Cheating.
Is that cheating?
I think so. Come on, use your mind. And there's another artist, a big spoiler, that I think you and I would feel very problematic playing.
Michael Jackson.
No, but yes.
R.
But
Kelly.
No. No. That we would. If I press play of one of their songs now, we both go.
That's quite a lot of people now, isn't it? Who would that be?
Who's had one of the most spectacular public profile crash outs?
Kanye West.
Kanye
Yeah,
West.
yes,
Kanye
yeah.
West is at number 10.
Number 10. Okay.
So 10 Kanye, 9
Yeah.
Billie Eilish, 8 Justin Bieber, 6 Ed Sheeran.
So it's big singers who have acted recently.
Is a couple of them, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. One is like they were in a movie last year, and they're
Yeah.
going to be in a movie again this year because it's the same movie.
Ariana Grande.
Yes. Ariana Grande is number 5.
Huge for her.
Okay. Recently, I interviewed who for the show in a junket. You weren't there
Who did you interview?
recently, and
Who was
a
your most
woman
recent one? Who was it?
for a movie that I didn't like.
Oh, Julia Fox.
Yeah, so she was in a movie with which famous artist, actor, musician appeared, and you're like, oh, that person's in that movie.
What in him?
No, what movie is she famous for?
Oh, Uncut Gems.
Yeah. There's a musician in that who's in that movie, and you go,
Uncut
oh yeah,
Gems.
there is a musician in that.
Who's it? Who's the musician? Am I being really thick? I don't think I have that.
Okay, at number 4 is The Weeknd.
Oh,
Do you remember
of course,
The Weeknd?
The Weeknd. Yeah, no,
He's in Uncut
huge.
Gems.
He is in Uncut Gems.
So
Yeah,
he's number 4.
Yes, he is huge. The Weeknd. The Weeknd. I know major hits, but I don't put him in the same fame category as
Ariana
Sheeran,
and
Taylor,
yeah.
Ariana. I know he's had some
Yeah.
huge hits, but I'm almost like, I would still put him in the teens for this logically. Any more bands, or is it just Coldplay?
No, the Coldplay is 13, and the only other band that is higher than them is one higher than them at number 12, which is BTS.
Oh yeah, of course, huge. So I'm missing 2, and they're still there.
You've got 10, 9. You're missing number 7, and you're missing number 2.
actor singers.
So number
Not
7 is a
Gaga.
more an older artist, actually, the oldest artist in this category, I believe. Huge when we were in this iconic of the 90s and noughties.
Britney Spears.
No.
Christina Aguilera.
No.
Is he male or female?
Male.
Justin Timberlake.
No.
It's a bit later, yeah.
Edgier than that.
Um,
His name is
Eminem.
Yes.
Eminem.
Eminem. Eminem at number 7.
God, yeah. That's great.
So the only one you haven't got is number 2.
My first ever album I bought, Marshall Mathers LP. Great album. Very naughty, too young to listen to it, but I did anyway.
I was absolutely obsessed with the Without Me song and the music video because of the pop culture references in it, the Batman and Robin thing.
Yeah, it's great.
Great song. James, last one you haven't got is number 2, and I don't think you will.
Because
You surprised me.
Give me number 2.
So this is the one that this actor, this artist, musician, was in a movie that we saw this year as an acting role.
Small role, big role, small role,
medium role. So like in a few scenes, and there were scenes with guns.
Scenes with guns.
No, because I don't think you know this artist that well.
Okay, go on.
Number 2 is Bad Bunny.
Oh yeah, no, I wouldn't have guessed.
He was in Caught Stealing.
That's number 2.
Yeah.
What are the numbers? What's the
what the streams?
Yeah. How many monthly streams?
I don't. This might be all time. I don't know. Oh, it could be month. Oh no, it is monthly.
I couldn't name you a Bad
97 million. Yeah, exactly. I couldn't name you a Bad Bunny, but he plays the Puerto Rican guy in Caught Stealing. Okay, so James, recap. Number 10, Kanye West. Number 9, Billie Eilish. Number 8, Justin Bieber. Number 7, Eminem. Number 5, Ed Sheeran. Number 4, Ariana Grande. Oh no. Number 6, Ed Sheeran. Number 5, Ariana Grande. Number 4, The Weeknd. Number 3, Drake. Number 2, Bad Bunny. Number 1, Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift, actually like head and shoulders above.
Yeah,
at least a 15-point lead.
She owns white women.
And number 11, Post Malone.
Oh yeah.
12, BTS. 13, Coldplay.
Yeah.
Then Travis Scott, Rihanna, Bruno Mars, Kendrick, J Balvin. I don't know who that is.
Oh yeah, J Balvin. Yeah.
Dua Lipa and Imagine Dragons at 20.
Go Imagine Dragons.
Wow.
Man. Rihanna's not released music in a really long time,
and yet she's still
in
50.
the teens. Yeah. That is really impressive. Always interesting to know these things. Yeah. I remember.
And Bruce Springsteen is number 300.
Oh, really?
There you go.
It's quite low for
Well, he still gets 10 million monthly streams.
Still,
I mean,
he's
you
right.
take it, wouldn't you?
He's got a film.
Imagine how many artists there are in the world, and your heyday was 40 years ago.
And you've still got 10 million.
You're still in three.
Right, still doing very well. Yeah, it's. I'm usually like the only time I felt weird about the Kanye thing was for the Gladiator 2 trailer. It was that Kanye song that was in it, and at the time that it was releasing, Kanye was at like real peak. Horrible things he was saying, and that was the only time I was like, that's strange. Like, this is a really big movie with big studio expectations, and like he is being very prominently horrible, and you've now like as soon as the trailer heard, I was like, oh, that doesn't feel right. But for a big film,
we wouldn't like put him on now, would we? I think you and I would be a bit like,
he's really ruined himself. It's such a shame.
Yes. And also, like, quite unequivocally, like he's quite demonstrably been
double
like,
down on it.
Yeah,
it's not a mistake. It wasn't an outburst.
I'm a Nazi. Okay, he's like made it.
It
black
was a
and
Jewish
white.
doctor.
Yeah, like he couldn't have made it any clearer. There's no Kanye,
would you like to apologise for what you said? No, sit back. I'm going to say some more.
Okay. And you're going to sell Nazi memorabilia on your website. Okay.
People make outbursts which aren't forgivable, but like they go, "I'm so sorry, I said that horrible word." Like, no, he really went for it.
This is like the real him, and the old Kanye was the performance.
Yeah.
Anyway, please don't sue us, Kanye.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Pulp Kitchen. Thank you for joining us. As mentioned at the top of the show, more content coming out later this week. Keep an eye out for that. And James,
new episode's Wednesday. If you want to support us, the best way to do that is to like, share this podcast, and go over to our Patreon, where we do an entire different news show for our sirens called Double Take. It's a different setup where we film it outside. We talk about the news. If you love what we do and you want to support us, you want something that's like this but a little bit different, a little bit more speculative and rumor based, go check that out. It's on our Patreon link below.
Look, just to share some testimonies from the pub after the live. People were like, you know what, I had to start listening to the Double Take because big news was happening, and I didn't feel clued in. I didn't know enough about it. I wanted to know, and now they feel up to date.
Yeah. They're different. They're different shows. It's like we all work for the same channel, Pulp Kitchen Media Limited, but ultimately, like the Double Take guys are just like, you know, they're like the sort of speculative guys on the ground.
Yeah.
Whereas we are like the follow-up journalists doing our think pieces.
We're in the studio.
We're in the studio,
and they're on the street.
They're on the street.
So I've said all year that I think we'll get a James Bond casting announcement this year.
Yeah. Talked about this a lot on Double Take.
And you've said no. Do you want to bet like a Mars bar?
We'll do pizza? Pizza bet?
Oh, no. Mars bar's like what? £1? I don't want to bet like
Can I change it to a Twix Extra?
Oh yeah, much better. I prefer a Twix Extra.
Yeah.
Great.
Twix Extra.
A Twix Extra.
Yeah.
If we get a Bond casting announcement this year,
I'll go against it. I think
it.
Denise occupied with June. I think he can't do it. Whereas you think it needs to happen. I thought you were right when it was all knocking around in the summer or in the springtime.
Now it's gone quiet.
Now I think it's cooled off. They made the announcement. Denise got to do June. That's a big film. But I'll bet you Twix Extra.
Okay, watch this space. Thank you as ever. Thank you as ever
we'll
for listening,
reveal
guys.
it on Double Take.
And I'll eat it on air. Thanks so much for joining us, guys. And as ever, keep your eye on our social media too. We post lots of clips of different stuff as well. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Cheers. Have a great week. Bye. Oh, thank you as ever to our producers, Finn,
Loz,
and Dave.
we salute you. Thanks so
Bye.
much. Bye-bye.